A dramatic headline has ripped through global intelligence circles, sending shockwaves across continents and igniting urgent discussions in the world's most powerful capitals. China's military leadership is in turmoil, facing a crisis that few could have predicted, and even fewer can fully comprehend. In a stunning and unprecedented move, some of the highest-ranking commanders in the People's Liberation Army have been abruptly removed from their posts, escorted out under a cloud of secrecy and suspicion. This is not a minor reshuffle. It's a full-blown purge that sent shockwaves from Beijing to Washington, raising alarms in defense ministries and intelligence agencies worldwide. The sudden disappearance of powerful generals has left a gaping void at the top of one of the world's most formidable military machines, creating uncertainty not just within China, but also among its rivals and neighbors. Top generals, including General Zhang Yuxia, a close ally of President Xi Jinping and a key architect of China's military modernization, are now under investigation, their futures uncertain and their influence abruptly curtailed. The Central Military Commission, which commands the armed forces and shapes China's defense strategy, has been hollowed out, leaving uncertainty and suspicion at the highest echelons of power. With critical positions now empty, speculation swirls about who will fill the void, and what this means for China's military doctrine, its chain of command, and its readiness to respond to crises. International analysts are scrambling to interpret the signals, debating whether this purge is a sign of internal weakness, a crackdown on corruption, or a bold move to consolidate power ahead of potential conflict. Insiders describe abnormal changes within the armed forces, underscoring the deep disruption caused by the sweeping removal of experienced commanders. Morale is reportedly shaken, and the chain of command is in flux. The world is watching, holding its breath as the dust settles on this unprecedented shakeup. Allies and adversaries alike are recalibrating their strategies, uncertain of what the future holds. The message is clear: no one is safe, and loyalty alone may not guarantee protection in this new era of political and military upheaval. Regional powers are on high alert, aware that instability in China's military could have ripple effects across Asia, potentially altering the balance of power and triggering new security dilemmas. The stability of the entire Indo-Pacific region may hinge on the outcome of this dramatic and still unfolding crisis, as the world waits to see who will emerge from the shadows to lead China's military into an uncertain future. The official reason for this sweeping investigation: the government claims it is a necessary step to uphold the integrity of the nation's institutions and to root out those who undermine the rule of law. Serious violations of discipline and law, a familiar refrain in modern China. These words echo through state media, signaling yet another high-profile crackdown. But beneath the surface, it's about more than corruption. It's about absolute loyalty to President Xi Jinping. In today's China, political survival depends not just on clean hands, but on unwavering allegiance to the leader at the top. This purge is the latest chapter in Xi's relentless anti-corruption campaign, which has reshaped China's political and military landscape. Since taking power, Xi has made it clear that no one is untouchable, and that the party's authority must remain unchallenged. At the heart of this campaign is an uncompromising demand for political allegiance. Loyalty to the Communist Party and to Xi himself trumps all else. The message is clear: personal ambition or dissent will not be tolerated. By ousting even long-time confidants like General Zhang, Xi sends a chilling message. No one is above suspicion. Even those who once stood closest to power can fall from grace overnight. The goal? Forge a military leadership that is ideologically pure and unified behind Xi's vision. Every officer is expected to demonstrate not just competence, but also absolute faith in the party's direction. The anti-corruption drive is a powerful tool, removing rivals, dismantling old power networks, and installing politically reliable leaders. It is a process that reaches deep into the ranks, ensuring that loyalty is rewarded and disloyalty is punished. This serves a dual purpose: addressing genuine graft and consolidating Xi's personal control over the armed forces. The campaign is as much about discipline as it is about dominance. The result is a feedback loop. Political consolidation enables more ambitious policies, which demand an even more loyal military to execute them. In this new era, the lines between fighting corruption and enforcing loyalty have become inseparable. shaping the future of China's leadership and its military might. The abrupt removal of so many experienced generals from the ranks of China's military leadership has sent shockwaves through the People's Liberation Army and beyond. This sweeping purge has triggered serious concerns about China's military readiness, raising questions about the stability and effectiveness of its command structure at a critical time. Some experts warn that the removal of so many high-ranking officers has damaged the PLA's ability to wage modern war. When loyalty is valued above competence, the quality of command inevitably suffers, and the chain of command can become fragile. The loss of seasoned commanders creates a significant gap in strategic planning and execution, as years of hard-earned experience and battlefield knowledge are suddenly lost. However, others argue that the PLA's deep bench of officers is capable of stepping up to fill the void, and that day-to-day operations remain largely intact, at least for now. The long-term plan appears clear: replace the old guard with a new generation of loyal, tech-savvy officers who are closely aligned with President Xi's agenda and vision for the future. But this newfound unity comes at a cost. Decisions may increasingly be driven by political considerations rather than sound military strategy, potentially undermining operational effectiveness. New leaders, eager to prove their loyalty and secure their positions, might be more inclined to tell Xi what he wants to hear, rather than what he truly needs to know, creating an echo chamber at the highest levels. The loss of institutional knowledge and the silencing of dissenting voices could have profound and far-reaching consequences in a crisis, leaving China's military less prepared to respond to unexpected challenges or rapidly evolving threats. This military purge is a masterclass in Xi Jinping's consolidation of power. By removing even his closest allies, Xi asserts absolute authority over the military and the nation. The anti-corruption campaign is his tool, removing obstacles and installing loyalists. The result: a military command structure populated by those who owe everything to Xi. Power is now personalized. The military is an instrument of the leader, not just the state. This unity enables Xi to pursue ambitious, even risky, national goals with unquestioning support. But this concentration of power is a double-edged sword, decisive but prone to groupthink and catastrophic miscalculations. Dissent is punished, conformity rewarded. On issues like Taiwan, decisions may be made with less debate and more peril. The turmoil within China's military has deeply worrying implications for Taiwan's security. With political loyalty now paramount, ambitious generals may push for risky actions to prove themselves. The loss of experienced commanders removes moderating voices. Decisions may be driven by ambition, not caution. The new leadership is expected to mirror Xi's hardline stance on Taiwan, potentially leading to more aggressive military postures. This could mean more provocative exercises and incursions, raising the risk of miscalculation. The calculus has changed. Political ambition may now outweigh rational military analysis. For Taiwan and its allies, the stakes are higher than ever. They must prepare for scenarios that defy conventional logic. Taiwan is watching the upheaval across the strait with intense focus. Any instability in the PLA could have immediate consequences for Taiwan's security. Defense and intelligence agencies are working around the clock to assess how the purge might alter China's military intentions. Taiwan is urgently evaluating whether these changes make an invasion more or less likely and adjusting its defense posture. Close coordination with international partners, especially the US, is crucial. Publicly, Taiwan remains calm, but behind the scenes, military readiness is heightened. In this unpredictable environment, a steady hand and clear-eyed assessment are Taiwan's best assets. In the short term, the purge may weaken China's military threat to Taiwan. Leadership disarray disrupts planning and coordination. The PLA, focused inward, may be less capable of launching complex operations. But this disruption is temporary. Xi's goal is a more loyal, unified, and efficient military. Once new commanders are in place, the PLA could emerge stronger. The transition is risky, but the destination is a military that's a more perfect instrument of Xi's will. Taiwan and its allies must use this window to bolster defenses and alliances. The short-term chaos is an opportunity, but the long-term trend is toward a more dangerous PLA. The purge is not a sign of weakness, but a risky transformation. China's military command is being rebuilt around one principle: absolute loyalty to Xi Jinping. The new generation of commanders will be chosen for political alignment, not just skill. Xi is taking his time, carefully vetting candidates to ensure unwavering loyalty. This shift creates a highly centralized, politically driven military. The new leadership will champion Xi's policies without question, even if it means sidelining strategic advice. Officers know their careers depend on fealty, not just performance. The result, a powerful, unified, and potentially very dangerous military, guided by the will of one man. The ground has shifted beneath the Taiwan Strait. The purge has ushered in a new, more dangerous chapter. Instability now, but a more aggressive PLA on the horizon. For Taiwan, the threat is now as much political as military. The PLA's actions may become less predictable, driven by Beijing's internal dynamics. Taiwan must bolster defenses, strengthen alliances, and prepare for relentless pressure. The international community must adapt. Deterrence now requires credible presence and clear messaging. The fate of Taiwan is tied to Xi's political trajectory. As his grip tightens, so does the risk. The world must watch and prepare. The coming months will determine whether the storm breaks.